Vaccines made in India. Do take the vaccine at your turn and do not.
Yeah, very good morning, students. Very good morning. Yesterday we have discussed about electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere, right? So yesterday we have seen the means uniformly charged electric field intensity due to charged sphere we have completed. So in that electric field intensity due to charged sphere, we have to find the electric field intensity with various points at various points with respect to charged circular sphere. So electric field intensity can be calculated. Just I'm recalling for yesterday's class. Okay, so everyone have joined or anyone able to join? So I think around 40 people have joined. So another 6 members have to join, I think. As of now, total 40 were there. Okay. So coming to the topic here, yesterday we discussed about electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere. So under this, here we can calculate the electric field intensity at various points. So we have taken 3 different such points. That is, when the point lies outside the charged sphere, how it should be calculated, that we have done. And by assuming some Gaussian surface at the point where we are taken, and then with respect to that particular point, the electric field intensity with respect to the charged sphere, we got, that is around, what we got, the expression for that, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, right? So what we got the expression, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. This is the expression we got, correct? So when the point lies exactly on the surface, when the point lies on the surface of the charged sphere, then the electric field intensity will be small r should be equal to capital R. In that case, the electric field intensity due to the point lies exactly on the surface should be written as E is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square, because small r should be equal to capital R. This is about when the point lies on the surface. Now, when the point lies inside the charged sphere, then what will be the electric field intensity due to that particular point? So here, when we talk about when the point lies inside, so it is not exactly at the center, it lies inside. So at any place of inside. So then how it should be? So here, the electric field intensity with respect to the point lies inside the charged sphere. We got that as E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q R by capital R cube. That means R by small r by capital R whole cube we got, correct? So this is the expression we got. And after simplification, we got that E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R cube in Q R by capital R cube we got. Now, yesterday one student asked about the question, right? So what is that? So here, when the point lies exactly at the center of the charged sphere, then what is the electric field intensity? So here, when we talk about the charged sphere, because it is purely solid sphere, so in this particular sphere with of radius r, when the point lies exactly at the center, here the total electric field intensity with respect to that particular point at center will be equal to 0. The same I shown with the graphical notation also. When the point lies inside, then electric field intensity is directly proportional to the radius of the Gaussian surface. And when the point lies outside, then the same electric field intensity inversely proportional to square of the distance between from the point to the center of this. Correct? So like this, we have to done. Already we are done, and we have to do in that way. Right? Is it clear? The person who asked the question, so it should be 0. If it is hollow, then it should be different. If it is hollow, then you can say that the answer which you said that is correct. Indefinite. Correct? Infinity. Or we can say indefinite. So in that case, we can do that. Yeah. Now, so this is about one of the important application already I said to you, right? So this was the topic which we have covered yesterday. And also we started one more topic, that is electric field intensity due to infinite sheet of charge. Correct? So just again, already I given yesterday. Can I repeat that? Anyone of you please respond? Yesterday we completed, I think, right? So if you no problem, I'll repeat again. So if you already written, no need to write. So here I'm writing electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. This we have done. Okay, electric field intensity due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay. So another 2 people are joining this. So coming to here. So in this case, yesterday I drawn a sheet, infinite sheet. Right. Same again. I am drawing the same. So here I am drawing the sheet. This is the sheet. Yesterday also we have taken same, and the sheet should be what I said here. It should be infinite. So if it is infinite sheet, then what we have to do? Because in all sides it should be varying. Correct? Like this. Infinite sheet. This should be written all the directions. Okay, because it's infinite sheet. This I have taken. This is the infinite sheet. Right? And here also I'm writing like this. The same diagram already I drawn yesterday. Just again I'm drawing. And what I did here this total charge present on this is plus Q, because it is uniformly charged. So here I am drawing only on the borders. It doesn't mean that only at the borders. It is everywhere. Okay, it is everywhere. Right? So the charge is everywhere. So now I can say that the total charge present on this is plus Q charge spread on it, right? And the charge density with respect to this infinite sheet of charge, then the surface charge density will be rho with respect to this sheet, infinite sheet of charge. Now, when we take a point outside, but in this, on this particular point, with respect to this infinite sheet, how we have to get? How we have to get means either you take point here, or you take somewhere here, or here, or here. If you take anywhere, wherever you take, because here it is a sheet, so it is a surface. So it is a sheet means here we have to get the electric field intensity on both the sides. So for that, what I did here yesterday, what I said, here we have taken, suppose this is here we have taken a cylindrical Gaussian surface. We are taking. That means here I am taking a point. Means the meaning of this one is it is only from one side, right? But at the same time, we also have to write for other side also. So to work out for this, what we have to do, we have to assume a Gaussian surface. So here, which Gaussian surface we have to assume? Here we have to assume a cylindrical Gaussian surface. So here is my cylindrical Gaussian surface I have taken, and here also I'm drawing cylindrical Gaussian surface, right? And why I have taken this cylindrical Gaussian surface? Because to cover both the surfaces, that means both the sides. So this is my Gaussian surface. So the meaning is what? Actually, the part which we are working here, this is the face of this, and this is the face of backside of this sheet. Correct? Same thing we discussed yesterday. And now I'm taking the point. So here, with respect to this Gaussian surface, this is the point which is placed at a distance of r, and at the same time, here also can be written r. Okay, both are same. So here I'm taking this one, what I taken yesterday. This is my point P1 and this is my point P2, correct? On phase 1 and other phase 2. Now, the electric lines of force with respect to this positive charge is outward drawn, that is E. And with respect to here also, electric lines of force with respect to this particular positive charge should be outward drawn normal, which is coming this side. And this is coming towards this E, correct? And now the total surface area of this sheet will be taken as yes. When we are working on this particular small area element, then the small area element will be taken as ds, and this ds with respect to this particular small area element, I'm writing with respect to here, it is ds. That means it is drawn outward normal. So it is drawn outward normal. So unit small area element which is drawn outward drawn normal. That means here the same point we're taking here, it should be perpendicular. It should be perpendicular. That means which is coming out of the screen. Correct? Which is coming out of the screen. So it is exactly perpendicular to this. So we can't draw that. So that's why we are showing a cross-sectional view of that. What I did, a cross-sectional view I am showing. So that means actually this is back side and this is the front side which is coming out of the screen. Correct? Towards your face. So that I am showing this. So the angle between these two is equal to theta is equal to 0 degrees. Is equal to 0 degrees. So at the same time, here also we can write the same small unit drawn vector, normal vector drawn outward will be. And again here also theta should be equal to 0 degrees. Correct? So this is what I have drawn. And what is this? This is our Gaussian surface. Correct? This is our Gaussian surface. Okay, which Gaussian surface? This one already I said. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface. You can also write cylindrical Gaussian surface. And what is this? This is our infinite sheet of charge. Correct? So when you write in words, what you'll write? Let us consider a infinite sheet of charge with positive charge, that is plus Q, and the surface charge density with respect to this positive charge plus Q on this sheet is rho. Yes or rho we can write, no issue. Both are correct. Otherwise we can write next, and we have to take a point at a distance R. So that means point P we are taken at a distance R. Okay, with respect to the sheet, and the electric field intensity to be calculated with respect to this P. But when you take a point on this resembles a problem. How? Because here you are taking a point, but you are working only on one side. We have to get for the whole sheet. For that, we have to assume a cylindrical Gaussian surface which can cover both the faces, and this particular point P, which I said can be represented as P1 on one side and P2 on the other side. Correct? Like this. This is the explanation I given, and the same explanation you have to write in words. Correct? So next, after this, the symmetry E, this symmetry E, which we are saying about the electric field intensity, right, is perpendicular to the plane. Correct? This unit drawn normal also perpendicular to this, and even with respect to E, also electric field intensity with respect to positive charge also, how it should be perpendicular. Correct or not? How it should be perpendicular? See, every time I'm telling this to you all, if this is my point with respect to positive charge, then always the electric lines of force will be outward drawn normal. So these are outward drawn normal. So people don't hesitate, because every time I'm saying, because that is itself is the concept. If you miss that, you should not understand. That's why every time I'm saying, that's why E and D is always perpendicular to that particular point. Means to that surface. Okay. Now coming to here, we'll write the electric field intensity. Right. What I did yesterday, the electric field, that means the electric flux through this, both the caps will be, means both the surfaces. How we'll write the electric flux through these P1 and P2 surface, means caps, faces, P1 and P2 faces will be written as how you write. So therefore, here I'm going to write electric flux E by E is equal to what is from, how you have to write from Gauss law. From whenever you write in words, we have to write from Gauss law. We know that, like that you have to write from Gauss law. We know that pi E is equal to closed integral E dot ds cos theta, actually. Correct? but cos theta means theta is equal to 0. Plus this is with respect to P1. Okay, and at the same time, we have to write with this sum of these two. Or otherwise, first I will write this with respect to this. I am going to write as phase. I am writing phase P1 and phase P2. Phase C, phase P2. So when you write with both, then the same expression can be written as this. Same can be written as like this. Phi means electric flux should be written as closed integral E dot ds with respect to P1, and at the same time closed integral E dot ds with respect to P2. And because since this angle between these two is equal to 0 degrees, between what? Here you can write between E and ds on both sides. Okay, like this you have to write in detail clearly. Or in terms of words also you can write, or you can also write directly with notation. So electric flux which is coming out with respect to the positive charge with respect to the two phases can be written as, here electric flux, this should be written as E dot ds. I have taken E outside. At the same time here also I am taking E outside, so we have to write ds. Then we can write this as es plus es, right? So this should be written directly as 2 into E. Yes, this is the electric flux which is coming out with respect to the two phases, or we can say directly electric flux with respect to the infinite sheet of charge. Now, this is fine. Now, therefore, the total electric flux, the total charge enclosed, therefore, the total charge enclosed, the total charge enclosed by this cylindrical Gaussian surface. This cylindrical Gaussian surface is how much? Cylindrical Gaussian surface we can write as is rho s. Correct? Rho s. Correct or not? So this is the total Gaussian surface with respect to. Correct? From Gauss law, we can write this as from Gauss law. That means from Gauss law means what? The total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, whenever you write here, the total surface area of the cylindrical surface also can be written. Correct? But here, what I would like to write means, so we can write this as the total charge. So total charge means how you'll write, but actually the charge density is, how can you write? Charge density is rho v. What you can write the charge density? The charge density is Q by S, correct? Then the total charge enclosed by this cylindrical surface can be written as, actually the formula is what? Charge density is defined as charge per unit surface area, unit area. Here the surface is cylindrical surface. So we can write, since rho is equal to, or I can write rho s is equal to Q by S. So from here I can write Q is equal to rho s into S. This is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So here we can write this as charge, the total charge enclosed by this cylindrical Gaussian surface can be written as rho s into S, right? Rho s into S. Since from here we got, correct? Take this, and from here I can take this as equation 1, and I can take this as equation 2. Now from 1 and 2 we can write here from Gauss law, from 1 and 2 we can write pi e is equal to 2es should be equal to, so that means pi e already there, so we can write directly. I'm erasing this, so 2es should be equal to, what is that? Rho s into capital S divided by epsilon. What is actual statement? From Gauss law we know that pi e is equal to closed integral E dot ds should be equal to Q by epsilon. This is the, from this expression I just substituted this Q value, and here I written actually small q, so I'll write here also small q, otherwise you will get confused. So I'm putting small. So now there is no any capital Q, right? So this is small q by S. So Q is equal to rho s into S. I'm taking and substituting in the place of Q. Then after this we get here E is equal to surface area on both sides similar, so it should get cancelled. Then we can write rho s by 2 epsilon naught E, 2 epsilon naught Sorry, 2 epsilon, not E. Okay. Ready? We are writing for E. So it should be only. Correct. This is the electric field intensity due to infinite sheet of charge. Finished. This is also one of the important question you can expect in exam. So that means I'm saying for the previous one also I said this is important question you can expect in the exam I said, correct? So this for this also I said that means if suppose in one set if they ask that question, in another set they can ask this, right? Either of this, any of one question they will ask. Okay. Out total 3 applications I'm going to give to you. Out of 3 compulsory you can expect 2. Okay, or 1. So this expression shows the magnitude of the electric field is independent of the distance from the sheet. Thus, E is same for all points on each side of the sheet. So that means electric field intensity wherever you take. So that's why I said starting here you take a point, here you take a point, or here you take a point, here, wherever you take, then the electric field intensity with respect to infinite sheet of charge is always rho is by 2 epsilon naught. Clear? Any questions, please? Students, if you have any questions, please. So that's all. This is about electric field intensity due to infinite sheet of charge. If you have any questions, please. One, speak out. Any one of you? Is it okay? Yeah? Understood? Already yesterday I said, again I repeated, because yesterday while winding, so that fastly I said, now I covered. Clear? Any questions, please? If not, I'll go for the next topic. Clear?
Sir,
Ah.
sir, here we can take different Gaussian surface also we'll get, sir.
Different Gaussian surface also you can take. But again, same. It should be same. Surface area will be same. Either this side or that side. Both will be same. Correct? But why I taken cylindrical? Anyone can guess?
Because we've taken circular in a curve in circular shape.
Yeah, because the faces will come in circular. The faces will come in circular. Correct? So that's the reason I had taken that. That I assumed as because it's a sheet. Sheet may be lengthy, sheet may be short, right? So in that case, sphere means you can't put in that way. Correct or not? Getting? So that's why I have taken it in the form of cylindrical Gaussian surface. Clear? You take the concept is important how we are putting. Okay. So anyone? Is it okay? So if no question, then can I go move to the next topic? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So next put heading everyone. Electric field intensity due to a charged cylinder. See another application I'm giving you. So only these are the 3 applications. Okay, you can expect in exam also. Out of these 3 compulsory, you can expect 2 or 1. But I used to say 2 because either this or that they will ask with respect to the choice. Correct? Right. So this is about electric field intensity due to infinite sheet completed. So now I am starting electric field intensity due to what I said, cylindrical, charged cylindrical. Okay. So put heading everyone. Electric field intensity due to a charged cylindrical surface. Charged cylindrical. Okay, clear? Or charged cylinder also you can call. That's your way. Okay, so now you people have to give me the answer. How we can do? Any one of you? So what I have to do here also, this is similar to the uniformly charged sphere. So here, what we have to do, let us consider a infinite circular cylinder. Let us consider infinite circular cylinder. So here I am drawing the figure, infinite circular cylinder. So infinite circular cylinder means here I am drawing like this, just a diagram I am drawing. Okay. So you people also work it out parallelly. all of you draw. This is the circular cylinder I have taken. Why I drawn this, I will let you know, because it is infinite, correct? Infinite, so that means it don't have any end, correct? So it will goes infinite. So what I did here, I assumed a infinite circular cylinder of radius r, of radius r. So in that case, what I have to do here, I have to take a imaginary, that means this is the axis of the cylinder. The central line which passes through any surface will be called as the axial line, correct or not? Axis line or axial line, correct? So therefore, the radius with respect to this can be called as capital R. I said by assuming a radius of capital R. This is the infinite cylinder, correct? Infinite long cylinder, and the surface is S. Okay. Now this is fine. Now with respect to this cylinder, what are the chances to find? Come on, tell me. And the charge density with respect to the cylinder will also be taken as rho. This is the charge density, and this is the surface area, and this is the radius with respect to the cylinder. Okay. So now the uniformly charged distributed. That means uniformly charged means what? So again, positive charge. Okay. So just I'm putting. So what is the charge on this? What is the charge on this? Plus Q. Always we have to take plus Q, right? So this is the plus Q charge present on this. Okay, it is everywhere. So just I am putting crosses only on this, means it doesn't mean that only here. Already I said, I repeated for the same for the previous topics also. Again, I'm saying, right? So this link is going to close in 10 minutes. So at least within this 10 minutes, I'll complete one topic from this. Then we'll do other. Okay, and I request everyone, if this link closes, please join with the same link after 10 minutes. Right now, here we can calculate the electric field at a point like due to the cylindrical in different ways. So where we can find? Anyone can guess? So here electric field intensity can be calculated at two different places. What is that? Electric field intensity. First one we can write that as electric field intensity when point lies. Electric field intensity can be calculated when point lies outside the point lies outside the sphere, outside the cylinder. So this is one. Okay, and the second one is when electric field intensity can be calculated when the point lies inside the cylinder. The point lies inside the cylinder, like this. These are the two topics we can work with. Okay, whereas in sphere we have done three ways, correct? What we have done when the point lies outside the sphere, and again second one is when the point lies inside, and when the point lies on the surface, we have done. Now in this infinite cylinder, here we have to find in both two ways because it's infinite. So it's an infinite cylinder means either we can get outside or inside. And here outside, and again outside if you take, again at the on the surface also if you take, same you will get, correct? So that's why I'm not taking, that is easy. Surface means directly we can write R is equal to small r, smaller is equal to capital R, similar to the sphere what we have done. In that way we can work it out. So now I'm going to work it out for the first one, that is when, put a heading everyone, when electric field intensity, means here we are going to calculate electric field intensity when the point lies inside the charged cylinder. Okay, so when the point lies inside the charged cylinder. So now here I am assuming a Gaussian surface. So when the point lies inside. So when the point lies inside means suppose I am taking point somewhere here. Okay, this is my point P. And now this point P which I have taken, which is placed at a distance of small r with respect to the axial line. What is this? This is the axial line of the infinite cylinder. So now I am assuming a cylindrical Gaussian surface. I am assuming a cylindrical Gaussian surface with respect to the point which we have taken, right? So the point which we have taken here, the same distance should be taken here also, because my diagram may not be that clear, but the same size you have to put here. correct? It's because the radius of one side what you have taken, that should be similar for the other side also. So now this is my cylindrical Gaussian surface, correct? So this is my cylindrical Gaussian surface with respect to the point which we have taken at the inside. So this is my point, and this is the point which I have taken at the center with respect to the axis I have taken, and this is R. So this is our Gaussian surface. Now, with respect to the charge present on the cylinder, now tell me the electric field direction, all of you. Please think and give me the answer. Now, tell me the unit drawn normal vector as well as the electric lines of force with respect to the which is present over this cylindrical surface. Now, tell me. So here we can write the electric field intensity. I am taking three different such points. Here, one small area element I can take, and one such small area element we can take at here, and the other we can take here. That means why I have taken this, because see, think it clearly. Here the electric lines of force, that means with respect to this particular point, if suppose I taken a point here, with respect to this point, in which direction the electric field will be, either you can show this side, or you can show this side, or you can show this side, or you can show upward. The meaning is what? It is perpendicular to the cylinder. So this is perpendicular to the cylinder means, so we can't put it. That means which is coming out of the screen. So which is coming out of the screen means we can't draw. So that we can show here like this. That means I am showing the electric lines of force with respect to this point is perpendicular to this point. Right? Now, what about the small area element of the ds? ds will be in which direction? Come on, guys. You please tell it to me that. What about the unit drawn normal vector? In which direction it should be taken? Unit drawn normal vector, in which direction it should be taken with respect to the face of left-hand side? How it should be? Now, here the unit drawn normal vector, you can see in the previous also we did, correct? It should be ds, correct? It should be ds, which is towards this direction. You may think, sir, why can't we take this E also this side? And even at this particular place also, why can't we take E this side? Can anyone, is it correct? Can I take this electric lines of force this side? We can take, but in this case, why we should not take? Because this is when the point lies inside you are talking. When the point lies inside with respect to this particular point, here always you have to take outward drawn. Okay, and this already I said it's a infinite cylinder. It's a infinite cylinder. So whenever you take the point on the edges, here electric lines of force will be upward. This is electric lines of force. And now the unit drawn normal vector will be ds. Now here the angle between these two will be how much? 90 degrees, right? Between E and S. Now, whereas on the circular cylinder, what will be here? Whereas on the circular cylinder, how it will be? Whereas the circular cylinder, it should be different. How? Anyone can guess? In circular cylinder, the unit normal vector, small area element will be ds, will be outward drawn, correct? And at the same time, the electric lines of force also will be outward, correct? Therefore, the angle between these two, that is theta, is equal to 0 degrees only on the curved surface, not on the edges, And here you can ask a question, why, sir? Because you are saying it's an infinite sheet. Because it is an infinite sheet, then how you ended this Gaussian surface? Here, I assumed a Gaussian surface with of length L. Correct? With a finite length L. Correct? Is it any questions? Anyone have any questions? Please, you can raise your question. If you understood, then I'll go for the derivation. Okay? Is it clear? So when the point lies inside, then when the cylinder should be taken with of length L, okay, with a finite length of cylinder L, we are taken, and we have the edges of these two edges. With respect to these two, here, this is the point. Here, if you take the electric lines of force, here, this, if you draw the electric lines of force this side or this side, how it will be? How it will be? Anyone? If you draw this side or this side, then how it should be? Either this E should be upward or E should be downward. Here also same. but I'm not drawing either. It should be this side or this side. Why? Anyone can give me the answer, please? Why I have not taken this side or I have not taken this side? Please, I will see your thinking. Because already I said that. So think and give me the answer for that. Guys, think and give me the answer. Guys, you understood or not? You people have to respond. No? Understood or not? If you understood, then you have to give me the answer. No one is responding. Ganesh, Dikshita, Ravali, Rohit, Pavan, any one of you? Srija? No?
Understood, sir.
Understood? So no one is responding. That's why it should be interactive, I said already. Due to symmetry, the magnitude of electric fields, due to symmetry, the magnitude of electric field will be the same at all points of the curved surfaces. If you take on the curved surface, wherever you take either this side or this side, if you take, it should be similar on this side and is directed radially outward. But whereas when you take at the curved surfaces here, sorry, at the edges, it should be, if you take inside or it take this side, this seems to be inward only. Okay, meanwhile, people are joining. Please, if you have any questions, please ask me. If you have any question, please. Because people are joining. Even if you have any questions, please. So here, the electric flux due to entire Gaussian surface. Okay, so will be written like this. The entire Gaussian surface, electric flux due to the entire Gaussian surface can be written as pi e, should be written as pi e is equal to closed integral E dot ds. See, people have to respond because I don't know whether you are getting or not. If you didn't understand, then again I will explain it. I will try to put clear. If you have any question or any query in your mind, okay, closed integral E dot ds. So from Gauss law again. So while doing derivation from Gauss law, we know that we have to write like this. From Gauss law, we know that pi is equal to closed integral D dot ds. And here I am taking on the curved surface, I'm going to write. So on the curved surface, it should be written as E dot ds. And here, because again, the theta should be equal to 0 degrees because E between, writing here, between E and ds, between E and ds, correct? Between E and ds. So this should be equal to 0. So that means here you will get E into S. Now E into S. Then what is the surface area of the cylinder? Width of length L. What is the surface area of the cylinder? Width of length L. So it should be E into, what is that? Surface area of the cylinder? Width of length L. In the same figure which we have taken. So it should be written as 2 pi r L. 2 pi, okay, RL. So this is the total flux which is coming out of the Gaussian surface. Okay, so this is the total flux coming out of the Gaussian surface. Which Gaussian surface? Cylindrical. Cylindrical Gaussian surface. Here, so like this, you have to write cylindrical Gaussian surface. Now, what is the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface? Anyone? Just like how we did in sphere, the same thing we have to apply for the cylinder. So, what is the total charge? So, I am repeating again. What is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface? What is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface? Come on, tell me, what is that? Enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Already I said, for sphere we have written, what is that? Total charge is equal to, what you can write? Volume into charge density. This we written, correct? Volume into charge density. Already we done, correct? So what is the volume of the Gaussian surface? We are writing total charge with respect to Gaussian only. So what is the volume of the Gaussian surface? Width of length L should be
pi r square L.
Yeah, it should be pi r square L into what is the charge density we assume starting, that is rho, correct? So from Gauss law, take this is the total charge, okay, with respect to the Gaussian surface, pi r square L into rho. Now take this and substitute in the equation of this one. So what is this? From Gauss law, we know that means Gauss law is already we have, that is pi E is equal to what we got? E into 2 pi r L we got, okay, is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So Q means this is Q, okay, charge Q. What is Q value we got? Q value is pi r square L, okay, pi r square L into rho, correct? By so from here, after simplification, what you'll get? E is equal to, what you'll get from here? What are the terms will get cancelled? Pi will get cancelled, correct? R will get cancelled, L will get cancelled. Now, what do you get the expression? It is rho R, because here one R is left over, by 2 will come this side. It should be rho R by 2 epsilon naught. So this is the electric field intensity at a point when the point lies inside the charged cylinder of infinite of length. Infinite charged cylinder, we can say. Okay. Directly. So that means what is the meaning of this here? The electric field intensity is directly proportional to what you got here. The same sphere, how we got. So here E is directly proportional to R. Okay. Correct. This is about point lies inside the cylinder. Now, you people have to work out for when the point lies outside the charged cylinder. So can you work out for outside? What will get the answer? Come on, tell me. When the point lies outside the charged cylinder. The point lies outside the charged cylinder. This is completed. Everyone have completed this part 1. The point lies inside the charged cylinder. Completed. Okay, if it is done, I will erase this. Completed, everyone? Okay, can I move to the second topic? So please note it down, whatever the derivation I'm doing, because running notes is important. Next one, put heading, when the point, second one, when the point lies at, electric field intensity, shortcut, electric field intensity, when the point lies outside the charged cylinder. Okay, the point lies outside the charged cylinder. Okay, so when the point lies outside the cylinder, so how will be the diagram? Any one of you? So how it will be? Please try you also. So you also can do. Just draw everyone. I'm drawing here. The point lies outside. Correct? So I'm taking. This is the cylinder I drawn. And this is the axis. Okay. Actually, this is the center. And now I'm assuming a Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface. The point like, suppose here I have taken a point P. So I have to assume a Gaussian surface of length L with respect to this particular point. So here I'm taking. And now what is the distance from here to here? Already we are taking that is capital R. Okay, with respect to the axis. Now this is our Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface. It is placed at a distance of R with respect to the axis. So from here to here, this is small r. From here to with respect to access to the point, this is small r. And our Gaussian cylindrical surface is 1. Okay. This is the cylindrical Gaussian surface. Correct. And now this is the infinite. So it should extend. Right. Charged cylinder, and already I said it is a plus Q, so you have to draw everywhere plus Q, the same diagram, because for drawing only the maximum time spends, but when you practice you can do it fastly. And here the total charge density is rho, and the Gaussian surface what we have assumed width of length L, width of radius small r with respect to the axis. This is the axial line, okay, axis line, and the total surface area of the cylinder is yes, and here rho is the total charge is plus Q, which is uniformly spread over on this cylinder, that is plus Q. Correct. Now here on the surface also, whenever you take, here also how you take the same express with the same concept how we have taken. Here also we have to take, here also we have to take how when the point lies inside, and here also. Now here the unit drawn normal, if you take here when the point lies outside. Okay, here also it should be ds should be inside and E will be so like this, and the angle between these two will be equal to 90 degrees. This is ds, this is lines of this. Here also it should be 90 degrees. Okay, you people draw it neatly. Okay, now when you come to this particular point, the electric lines of force will be outward, right? And with respect to the unit normal vector, it should be ds, it should be also be outward drawn, and here theta is equal to 0 degrees. Theta is equal to 0 degrees. Correct? So like this we have to assume, and the total flux which is coming out with respect to this cylindrical Gaussian surface will be written as pi e is equal to, what will get the expression? Come on, tell me guys. You will get closed integral E dot ds, and from here we can write E into integral ds. Correct? And from here you will get directly E into S, where S is the cylindrical surface area of the cylinder. So that should be written as cylindrical surface area, that is E into 2 pi RL, because here R is also taken smaller. From here to here we are taken, and the length of the cylinder we assumed is L, and it should be 2 pi RL. It should be 2 RL. Correct? So this is the total flux which is coming out of the Gaussian surface we got. Now it is important. What is the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface? This is important. Now you tell me guys, the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. The total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface means Gaussian cylindrical surface. Cylindrical surface. Come on, tell me here, what is the total charge enclosed by the cylindrical Gaussian surface? So here, charge I am putting charge is nothing but this charge Q, should be written as, how you'll write? Charge on the cylinder of actual length, correct? Correct? Same how we did for sphere. Charge on the, what is that? Charge on the, tell me guys what I said. Charge on the cylinder, correct? Tell me, of actual length, okay? Of actual length into charge density. Now tell me the derivations. Tell me the expressions for this. I will write charge on the cylinder of actual length. So what is the charge? That means charge on the cylinder of actual length. What is the charge on the cylinder of the actual length? Guys, charge on the cylinder. That means what is the meaning of that? Charge on the cylinder means this is charge means volume, correct or not? Charge on the cylinder of actual length into charge density. So what is this? Here you have written charge. Again, I am writing charge. Is it correct? Guys, is it correct? Guys, please, I will write that. Is it correct? I am asking. If people are not listening. Charge on the cylinder of actual length into charge density I written. Is it correct? The total charge I want to find. Okay, the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is equal to charge on the cylinder of actual length into charge density I written. Is it correct? Is it correct? So it should be volume charge. Okay, so don't get confused. It should be volume charge. You people are not listening. So what is the volume of the cylinder of actual length? Volume of the actual cylinder of length is how much? Now we used. It should be of actual length means it should be capital R square, pi R square L. Into charge densities which we have taken, that is rho. Correct? So this is pi R capital R square L into rho. Okay. So that means here we got Q expression. Now from Gauss law we can write, substituting this in this, or from Gauss law we can write here directly as, from Gauss law, here I'm going to write pi E is equal to, that means I'm writing E into S, that is E into S is equal to E of 2 pi R L is equal to, in the place of Q, I'm going to write that as pi R square L into rho by epsilon naught. Okay, so what are the terms will get cancelled here? Pi will get cancelled, L will get cancelled. So what is left over here? E is equal to 1. What is left over? Rho into R square by R, correct? 2R epsilon. Correct? So this is the electric field intensity with respect to when the point lies outside the cylinder. So now here electric field intensity is inversely proportional to the small r. Correct? So it varies. That means this expression, especially this one, shows about the electric field at a point outside the cylinder is directly proportional to the capital R. That means capital R means what? Proportional to the radius of the cylinder, but and inversely proportional to the distance of the point from the axis of the cylinder, to this. Axis of the cylinder to, okay. So that already we said, correct? So actual cylinder is directly proportional, and whereas the point where you are going to calculate, that is inversely. Okay, so this is about the expression for this point lies outside the charged cylinder, electric field intensity. Anyone having any questions? So these two you have to write in exam, and once you write, so you'll get full mark. But mainly the people, evaluators who will see, that is, they see the diagram, and based on the diagram, the expression how you are going to put that they will see, and they'll give the full mark. Okay, that means the assumption part and the imagination what you are taking, that should reflect in pictorial form. If it is that clear in this, then they'll give full mark. Okay. Anyone of you having any questions, please, either in chat box or here you can share. Okay, if it is okay, then I'll close. Anybody having any questions? So you should remember all the formulas: volume charge of the cylinder, volume surface area of the cylinder, surface area of the sphere, volume of the sphere. These things you have to remember. And with this, the maximum topic we have completed in the first unit. Only topics left over are electric potential. Only potential part is left over in the next class. I'll complete that also. So with this, by next class, we'll complete first unit. Okay. So means next topic or next class, or otherwise one more class I'll take to complete. Okay. So anyone having any questions, please. And the material also I will share with you all. Because electric potential means electric potential, we have to see work done. These things we have to see expressions. And then again, we have to work with the Gauss law expressions. Okay. So with the help of Gauss law, how these electric potential expressions also can be worked out. Those things we have to see. So I need one more class to complete this unit, or otherwise another 2 classes. So within these 2 classes, I'll wind up the first one. Okay. Anybody having any questions? If not, so can I close? Guys, please respond. You have to respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, thank you. So someone have said R will be cancelled. Rho R 2 epsilon naught. No. Who is this? No, R is which one? R will not cancel, not 2 pi RL into pi R square L. How small r will get cancelled? No.
Sir, in the picture you took the distance from the center till the point is small r, but you considered it as capital R.
No. Where? Here. This is for Gaussian, correct? And here it is the total charge enclosed by the cylindrical Gaussian. Means when you want to write the total charge with respect to the Gaussian surface, here with respect to the actual cylinder, you are going to work it out, right? That means volume of the cylinder, okay, volume of the actual, that means charge on the cylinder of actual length, that means volume charge on the cylinder of actual length, okay, that should be taken. You are saying that this capital R should be smaller, you are saying, correct? If you take like this, then again you will get the same expression. What you will get? Rho by 2 epsilon naught only you will get, correct or not? Rho R by 2 epsilon naught you will get, correct? Rho R by 2 epsilon naught you will get. This you are saying, correct? This you are saying, right?
Yes, sir, I am saying this.
You are saying this, correct? So when you take with of actual, but when we are here, we are writing the total charge. When we are writing the total charge, so compulsory the volume of the actual cylinder should be taken with of the same. So that's why here I have taken pi r square. You people may ask, sir, it is infinite. Then how we can write? So that's why that means charge on the cylinder of actual length. That means the cylinder where we are taking up to that only I am writing with respect to the actual cylinder with of capital R. Correct? Will you accept that? Okay, see one more. If not, if you use small r square also, you'll get pi r. So here, if you get the same, in the previous one, when the point lies inside, again you got the same thing, correct? There also you got E is directly proportional to R. But when the point lies outside, always it should be E inversely proportional to small r. This you should get. So here you people are confusing here that the charge, the total charge we are going to get. The total charge means if the total charge which we have taken on the cylindrical surface, if you're not there, then you can't get that. So we are writing the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. How you got this total charge on this Gaussian surface with respect to the actual cylinder, right? So already it is there. That's why we are getting. So that I have written as the total charge Q is equal to volume charge on the cylinder of actual length or volume of cylinder of actual length into charge density. Into charge density is rho. Like that we have to write. So it will be pi r square L by into R. Okay, no problem. If you have any doubt, we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Here, still if you don't understand, we'll do again. Okay. You also just work it out. Okay. I'm not saying that I'm correct, but you people also try once, then we'll discuss. Okay. Clear? So I'm closing this. So Ganesh, please share me the attendance. Okay, today's attendance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you all. Take care. Okay. Happy weekend.